This is our topic actually. So where we are going to discuss first introduction part of the Palo Alto, right? I think like you have been already covered the basic structure of basic firewall and all the things previously, like basic idea if you have. So I would be also going to ask a few questions regarding that. If you have any idea regarding this, so anybody can raise their hand and tell me that. So first question is, what is firewall, guys? Because of we are going to start the Palo Alto, right? So this is also the firewall. So before moving ahead, I just want to understand what is firewall. If anybody knows, so they can raise their hand and tell me.
Firewall is important for enabling the policy to the network. It plays a crucial role for security, uh, especially from old firewall to the new generation firewall. There are some differences, but overall they are creating the uh, security list, and it gives a chance to us to provide policies to apply to our network, especially new generation firewalls such as Palo Alto. It's give a chance to us to apply the policies based on not on the only the network layer but also the application layer as well.
Got it. Got it. That's good. Anybody else want to describe?
Yes, there are two type of. I think there are two type of firewall, like legacy firewall and next generation firewall, and are
Mhm.
like Palo Alto, FortiGate, Checkpoint, are like an NGFW, in which we are having app filtering, URL filtering, and we can like minutely filter the traffic if we want. Like if we want Facebook to open but don't want the videos on Facebook to play, so we can do that also.
Mm. Got it. Okay, let me tell you in the simple terms, like that is good actually to prevent the security policies or to prevent the unauthorized access. That is the main use of firewall. But a firewall is a security system that monitors and control network traffics to prevent unauthorized access to the computer, right? So if any other unauthorized access or unauthorized users want to make communicate inside our network, or if they want to grab some other information, there could be any hacker or anyone can be take access. So the firewall is the main use of firewall is to prevent or to break that particular things and to provide security in our network systems, right? So that is the main thing.
Oh,
Okay, got it. Okay. So in firewall, basically we have been divided two sections in that, right? Stateful and stateless firewall. If anybody know what is the difference between stateful and stateless, they can tell answer if anybody interested in that.
one of them maintain connection table and one of them don't.
Right. So stateless is not maintaining connections, right? And stateful is maintaining connection. If any users is going inside network or outside network, if anybody is doing or trying to take access from them. Okay, great. I think you guys have been cleared, understanding on the basic things, basic part of firewall.
Yes.
So let me start first the part of introduction, part of Palo Alto, right? Just a second. So first of all, we are going to discuss the series and the hardware structure of that, right? Just because of before to understand the particular device, we should have to understand the behavior of the device, how exactly they behave, what are the the hardware components we have in that. Just like in switches, if you see, like we have multiple slots in that, right? We should also have multiple SFP ports also there. So it is depend upon model to model. So such as similarly we do also have in the Palo Alto series as well. So basically, the Palo Alto series, which we have, that is the next generation firewall, which we are, making and which we are working on that. So let's discuss first of all the hardware architectures for the Palo Alto firewall. So we have actually multiple series in that. I will be also going to take that and describe the series, what we have the series and how exactly the differences we have because of it is dependent upon the capabilities of the devices as well. That what some models having the different capabilities, some models have the different capabilities, some models have different different number of ports. So these are the basically main differences we have. So in Palo Alto series, basically we have next generation firewall where we have multiple series like 7500 series. We have for all the 7500 series, 7000 series. We do also have, 40 to 5200 series, 5400 series. So these are basically the series we have. Each and every series I am going to describe you first, like what exactly we will get in this series and, how capable exactly this series is because of somewhere if where exactly we are using our firewall where we have large network, right? So obviously if we have large network, so we have to make sure that our firewall is much compatible to handle the traffics which is coming via that, right? So let's discuss first the 7500 series, right? In 7500 series, I'm going to describe the first one thing. The firewall which we have, basically it is divided into the two planes. We have management plane and we have data plane. So basically, how exactly we have divided these planes actually to understand the behavior and the functions of the firewall, right? So let's discuss first the data plane. So what we will be going to check the or we'll be going to see the inside the data plane, which is regarding your CPU, regarding your RAM, regarding your ASICs, right? We have multiple types of ASICs in that, where we have all the components related to your ports related, your controller related. So these kind of things we are going to get in that, where we have NPCs and DPCs. It is actually divided into the two part, where we have networking processing and the security processing part. Security processing comes in the DPCs part, where we have multiple RAMs we can install, multiple CPUs we can install, right? So we have multiple option to, you know, uh, edit or do something according to our requirement. In the data plane in NPCs, mostly what we will be going to get, which is the flow control, routing tables, all the kind of management things which is has been maintained by the NPCs in data plane. In management part, if I talk about, so in management part, like whatever the policies basically we are going to use or whatever the functions exactly we are going to use, those comes inside the management part. Like if we are doing any configuration, if we are, trying to capture anything from the firewall because of sometimes if network is going down or flapping, so we are going to collect the log in that. So those things has been managed by the management team in that, right? We are not going to discuss the switching part as we have been already gone through in the power routing and switching part. So there's no need now. Do you have any doubt or any things to ask in that? If you have, if you guys, you can free to ask.
May I ask what NPC and DPC stands for?
Sorry,
Uh, what NPC and DPC stands for in the data plane?
uh, sorry,
And,
what you're asking? Yeah.
you see the data plane, yeah? There is NPC
Okay,
and
okay. Got it. It is this one, right? This is
yes.
network processing card. Like,
Uh,
let's say if anything is going to be happen, like in normal, uh, in normal devices, if I talk about, so we have an IC card, right? So similarly, in that we have network processing card. Got it? So it is actually decided by the sum of series. Actually, we have different NPCs or different capabilities of NPCs in the different models actually. So it is decided by the particular models we have. Got it?
Okay. And so the NPC stands for this and DPC stands for data plane
Yeah.
cards. Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's move to the next part. So as we have discussed the 7500 series, right? So similarly, actually the 7500 series, this is the latest device we have, right? This comes under the 7,000 series because of 7500 series, the upper model of the 7,000 series. If I talk about the 7,000 series, so we will also get the same thing in that, right? So most difference which I have told you that we will be going to have the differences between the NPCs and DPCs, like the capabilities, right? Capabilities of the devices, capabilities of the RAM, capabilities of the memory, and other things, right? So this is going to be happen in the data plane only because of the hardware. Whenever the any hardware changes or anything will be there, that always going to be part of the data plane. That's never going to be the part of management plane, because of in management plane we are only going to manage the things regarding the functions and features of the particular firewall, regarding the hardware architecture, regarding the ports, informations, and each and everything. We are going to have the details in the data plane. Got it? Similarly, if I show you, we do also have 40, 54, 50 series here. So in that we do also have the same thing, but the devices capabilities are less in that, right? Why the devices are going to be upgrade, why the devices are going to change their models and making the new models and coming the new models in that, just because of they are just increasing their capabilities to handle the particular traffic or handle the particular load in the network, right? Because of if the particular firewalls are not able to handle that things, so the network can be collapsed, right? Because of we are totally dependent upon the firewall securities in that and our companies, right? So this is most important thing which we have here. I hope nobody have any doubt in this part, right? Now let me tell you about the panorama first, because of as of now we have been already discussed only the firewall part. Now panorama is what? Let me tell you the first. The panorama part is panorama is the centralized device which we are going to maintain the multiple firewalls together with the help of panorama. So panorama is the network security management device which we have. We are going to use, like we can take an example of in routing and switching. Mostly if you see we have multiple servers, right? And in that multiple servers we have multiple users are connected, so those users are managed by the servers, right? I'm not saying that we cannot perform any activities or anything on the users. We can do that. But some things which can be manageable by the only servers, which have the only authorized over the servers. So similarly, we do have in security terms, we do also have panorama, right? So panorama will also work like the same thing. Panorama is going to provide the management part of the multiple firewalls in that, right? If we have, if you will be going on flow, so you will be going to see that on the whenever you are again going to get any cases, so you will be going to face this issue, like the multiple firewalls are connected to the panorama, and that has been managed by the panorama only. So there we are going to utilize the panorama to maintain or to manage multiple firewalls together, right?
Okay.
In Panorama, we do also have multiple series, right? So in multiple series, like we have M700, M600, 300, 200, right? So these are basically the series we have. The same thing we are going to get the thing in the Panorama. Yeah, but one thing which we are not going to get in a Panorama, which is data plane, because of we never ever going to maintain anything related to the data plane traffic over the panorama. Only the management traffic is going to be managed by the panorama because of this is centralized device. This is manageable device, right? Which we are going to use multiple firewalls, which we are going to maintain the multiple firewalls together with the help of this particular panorama, right? So only what we are going to see, which is management plane in that, where we are going to see the configurations, logging, reporting. We do have CPU, RAM, storage, and other things because of without that, obviously the panorama and any devices is not going to be work on that, right? So this is the main thing. And in that, in the series, basically, it is how exactly we have divided into that just because of the modes, right? In that modes, in the logs, ports. We do also have multiple ports in that. The capabilities of the port, capabilities of the modes, capability of the logs. So we have multiple n numbers of log we can maintain in that particular series. You can see like log collector mode, we have 73,000 modes, right? In that panorama mode, we have 36,500 logs per second. We can just record or we can maintain that particular logs by the per second, right? So this is particularly manageable devices, management devices, you can say. So why exactly we are going to manage? Because of somewhere the log has been created, and somewhere if my firewall is going to be down, so somewhere we are going to collect the logs and report the things and just manage the things and bring the our firewall up. So the panorama will help us to identify the issue, to identify exactly the logs and everything, which exactly this is going to be correct, and help us to identify the issue and help us to manage the particular firewall with using these devices. Now, I hope the firewall and panorama part has been cleared for all of you. If you have any doubt, guys, not to hesitate to ask, please.
So, like how many firewall we can connect on a single panorama device?
Okay. So actually, this is dependent upon model, right? So it is actually like somewhere we can see like 64 devices, 32 devices, 16 devices, 4 devices. So it is dependent upon model to model and capabilities to capabilities, because of somewhere we are going to use the port or connections, or somewhere we are using some cables to connect that, right? It is dependent upon port as well, because of if we are not connected to that, so how we can manage it, right? So this is dependent upon model to model.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Control plane as well.
Sorry. Somebody said,
In Panorama, we can use for management. So you said not data plane, right?
we
We
have
have
the
a
data, but exactly the traffic is not going to be forwarded over that. We have the data plane over the particular device for that, but this is only for panorama, not for if anything's coming via the data plane traffic over the panorama. So this is not responsible to maintain that. Okay, now let's talk compare basically the products which we have, as we have discussed, like the sum of series have the different capabilities. Some series have different speed, duplex, many more things which we are going to get in the particular firewall. So let's say we have the Palo Alto firewall 220 series, 220R. So these are some series basically we have. So I'll be going to take the series from there, because of mostly whenever you are going to go on flow, so mostly you are going to get the series from 5200 or 3200 or 77,000 or 7500, right? So mostly the series which you guys are going to see that, which is these three. Mostly these three series are going to be utilized in the live environment, right? So let's discuss first the Palo Alto series of 3200. So in 3200, we have different series. We have 3220, 3250, 3260. So these three series, these three models actually we have on the Palo Alto firewall. So in that, we have different capabilities to handle the particular, uh, the speed and duplex and features, functions over the firewall. So in if I talk about in that 3220, so we have, uh, we have the throw output, which is going to deliver us that 10 Gbps of the speed particularly. And in that, we have 6.6 Gbps, and that we have 5 Gbps of the speed, which we are going to get on the particular app identification or the app mix. Like basically, what is the app identification? We will be going to cover in the upcoming section, right? Because of this is the sum of the functions of the particular firewall. So I'm just telling the differences of the particular hardware architectures and the things which we have, right? We will be going to surely we are going to cover the app ID and other things later on. So similarly, like IPsec VPN through output, we have the similar speed. If we have configured IPsec or any VPN, we will be going to see the speed on these particular models of 4.8 GB per second, 3.2 GB per second, and 2.7 GB per second, right? So similarly, this is the differences of specification, hardware specification. We do have the multiple differences on the hardware specification because of the multiple models we have, right? So each and every model have the different capabilities, which we have already discussed with the hardware specifications, right? So like what I have been already told you that different models have the different capabilities to handle the speed or the particular port, SFP port or multiple ports we have in the different series. So like let me tell you an example. In the 3220, in the 3250, you guys can see the interface supported, right? So these are the particular interfaces we have in the 3220. In that 3250, we have these much interfaces. What interfaces exactly it is? This is actually decided by the particular number of ports. And in the number of port, we have multiple speed, like 10 GB per second, 100 GB per second, 1000 GB per second, right? So this is exactly the speed which we are going to get. And what is this? This is SFP ports, right? So we are going to get this SFP and SFP plus ports in that, which is basically we are going to do some configurations over the firewall. We will be going to cover the ports also in the upcoming section. So don't be worried about. Now, in management part, if I talk about, so we'll be going to get the micro USB. We are going to get the RJ45 console port. We have management port. We have fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet, 10 gigabyte Ethernet, 100 gigabyte Ethernet. So these are basically the number of ports or management input output which we have, right? Sizes, if I talk about, so that's some sizes which is standard rack, which is we can use. We have some decided rack where we can exactly fit that particular device inside the rack because of somewhere we are going to particular pin that. So what is the rack actually? Let me show you. Whenever you go in the server room, right? I'll show you one picture actually. So basically, this is rack, right? I hope most of the people have already experienced, right? But I just wanted to show you like where exactly we are going to put this particular device. So in that particular device, we have the different types of rack as well. I hope like you have been already see the rack, but we have different sizes of rack as well. So like it is managed by particular models with that just like in Cisco, Nexus or any other vendors, we have different heavy devices, right? Where we needed like a standard rack or standard rack. So we would be decided by the rack, basically the sizes of rack or particular things which we have where we can insert that particular device, right? We have the difference between the power supplies as well because of the power supply is most important thing in that in the devices because of sometimes whenever you are going to go on a flow, so the customer will be complaining about the power supply. Their power supply sometimes is not working or they have been some power issue. So you will be going to check that some power supplies on the devices. So you should have to be aware about how many AC watt and DC watt that particular firewall that support, right? So we should have to ask like which models the customer is using, and then we have to check that particular device is supported how many watts of AC or DC power. right? So 3220 and 3550 and 3260, 3260 and 3250, we have the differences in that, right? If you see, this is your AC power and this is your DC power, right? So we have to be aware if the customer is providing more power and the device is not coming up, or sometimes due to over power, the device may be going to be, failure. The power supply is going to be broken. So we should also have to be checked, and we should also sometimes have to ask to the customer that how many exactly the power they are going to use for that particular things, right, to run the device. So this device is particularly, managed by this much of AC power and DC power in that. In that we have every most of the time as of now, every firewalls is going to be, provided the redundant power supply, which is VCUs, right? So sometimes if power is going to be broken, or power is going down, or somewhere there is no electricity, so these basically redundant power supply is going to help us to run that particular device on a standby mode, so that there should be no any network down or any kind of interruptions in that. Okay, now let's come to the part of disk drive. So mostly you are going to see the SSDs, or a number of GBs or data is in that. So mostly you are going to see that SSD has been installed over that. In previous models, so we were getting HDD hard drive disk, so that was not much compatible to handle the multiple functions or things, to store the particular features, files, and all the things. So that is why we have upgraded to the SSD to handle or to make it fast to particular device, where we can store the multiple files. We can configure the multiple features together, so that things can be synchronized very in a very short time. Similarly, the same thing we would also have the Palo-Alto series of 5200. So it is also decided by the sum of speeds, which has been already decided, right, in the different models as we have. So we can see that each and everything would be related to that. I have been already explained what is the use of interface, what exactly do we have and where we are going to use it. So similarly, we have the different models of series and features we have, which we are going to see, right? Do you guys have any doubt or anything to ask in that?
Scroll down a bit.
Sorry.
Could you scroll down a bit this page? Just yeah, a bit. Yes. And what's this management? This is management interface is clear, but the first one is MPC option, supported MPC option. What's this for?
So management plane, basically management interface. Basically, we are going to get the device access. So whenever you are going to take access of the devices, we have two modes, basically two functions. Either we can go for physical access, where we are going to use management port and aux port, USB port, RJ45 port. Like whenever you are, physically available to access that particular device, then we can go for these. We do also have SFP port and many more. In SFP, we do also have multiple, differences basically. And in virtually, obviously, we have HTTP, HTTPS, we have Telnet, SSH. So we have multiple remote protocols which we are going to use to take access of the devices. All right.
What was the first one? So is this MPC? This, yes.
This one, right?
Yeah, yes.
This is the speed of that basically, as we have been already discussed, right? What is the use of NPCs? What is that, right? So this is that. This is the cards basically which we have. In the 7000 series, it is basically going to start from the 7000 series, as I told you, that this has the NPC's card has been decided by that 7000 series and more than that. So this is we are going to use for, in a single chassis, basically, which we have in the simple terms, if I say, where we are going to use NPC's card in that. So we have multiple slots. We have multiple SFP slots where we are going to use the network processing card to take access or to increase the firewall performance. Anything else, guys?
No.
Okay, I think let me tell you the first of all about your breaks, because of we are going to take the two breaks basically. First is for lunch break at 2 p.m. IST, which is for India, because of most of the people are having their lunch time in that. So we are going to take the first break, which is on 2 p.m. right, 2 to 3 p.m. I guess 1 hour is enough. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. we are going to use, and for Poland people, we are I hope like 6 p.m. IST to 7. Okay. So we are having this schedule where we are going to take a break on that. So accordingly, you guys can, take your breaks and make sure to come back before completing the break. And in between, we do have things to be covered. So we are going to follow the each and every day schedule. Got it? If you guys have any things to ask or any manipulations in you want to do in that, so we can go. Any concern, anything?
Actually, not just we need to check its time zone for the Poland, how it will be. Just let me check. I think it's shit.
Okay. So at 6 p.m. IST, right? Somewhere around 8:30 a.m. Sorry, it is 2:30 p.m. Sorry. So you will be taking your lunch break, that is 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Poland time. Got it. So similarly, we do also have for India 2 to 3. Anything else, Magif? If you need any, edit or it
No, everything
for
is
you.
all right.
Okay. I'll be also showing you the how to take access of particular firewall. I hope like first of all, how many people's you guys have completed your BGV and got your credentials?
No one, I think.
So did you guys have changed your status of BGV? How to check,
We completed our BGV, but we kept our credentials yet.
Can you guys open your the iConnect and can you guys go over the profile and just let me know the status, what you can see that. For me, let me show you just like how exactly you'll be going to get.
IOPEX BGV not yet started.
Not yet started.
So if you have been completed your BGB or anything, so you will be going to see this data here.
It is showing not yet started.
Not yet started. Have you guys checked your personal email? I think you guys have received your
We have
credentials
filled
from
that higher right form.
right from right. So this is
Yes.
like you have been done your e-sign and completed back or submitted back
Yes.
or
On that higher right portal, it is showing that we have submitted your report to IOPEX,
okay.
and
So it will be might be taking 1 or 2 weeks to get your credentials. Whoever have done, submitting your e-signatures, make sure to, check your emails and your PGB status using that credential because of sometimes they have been require some documents, right? For experienced people, for letters, I guess there is not much. There's no not take time. So for experienced people, actually, this is going to take time just because of they are going to do some background verifications for that, right?
yes.
Okay. Uh, so make sure to check every day and just if they would require any documents, so just upload it so that you guys can get your lab credentials as soon as possible. Because of when we are going to discuss anything or we are going to study anything, so we should have to be the part of lab part of first because of to understand the things because of most of the you are new in this technology, right? So to understand the technology, to understand the behavior and other things or functions, you should have to be your lab credentials where you can perform your practical and see how exactly the device is working, what are the functions we have features, so that you can never miss that.
Yes, yes. Please tell us what's necessary to do that so we can do it as soon as possible.
So Wagif, actually, this is this is not under our control. If it is, so we can do that. But this has been managed by some other vendor, right? Background verification. So they are going to do. But make sure to complete your BGV. Like I hope you have received your credentials regarding BGV over your email. Might be on your personal email, not on the official. So you have to check it there, log in. You will be also having your login link there on your email so that when you log in, you will be seeing that status of that. So whenever they would be require any documents, they will drop you an email. They will, upload the status or update the status over the BGV, whatever we have, right? So make sure to check that so that BGB will be completed as soon as possible so that you will get your lab credentials.
Okay.
Okay.
We are connecting here from the iConnect, right?
We are going to see the status from iConnect when it is submitted to your, when it shows like completed and submitted to your, we say IOPX technologies. Then that has been done by the other vendor and that has been submitted to the IOPX. The IOPX is will be working on that and they will provide you the lab credentials as soon as possible they can, right?
Okay.
So if you have any doubt, anything related to us,
I mean,
reach
who is responsible for it? Like who we need to ask who? The IT
basically
support?
only only you guys are responsible to check the status. When you check the status, let us know what is the status you guys can see in your system so that we can check accordingly and we can proceed for the lab credentials, right? If it is submitted and submitted to IOPEX, then that has been received by some of team in IOPEX, some of IT team or management team in the IOPEX. So I hope, who is your, by the way, who is your reporter basically? To
Oh,
whom you
what?
are reporting? To whom you are reporting?
You mean who we reported?
Yeah. To whom you are reporting? Who is your reporting manager?
Manager is Baharat for.
For Poland people, we have different, right? For Gurgaon and for Gurgaon and Delhi location,
Parveen Kataria.
in Kataria. And what about for Bangalore?
Same.
Okay. Got it. You guys are not under me. No. So let's move to the part of again the introduction part. As basically for today, we are not going to discuss actually the lab part because most of the people are not having any access of lab, right? But I'll show you how to take access and how to see the functions and what are the features functions we have on the Palo Alto. So I will show you. I'll take access of GUI as this is also the part of today training. So I'll show you that as well. We have enough time, so don't be worried about guys. Okay, just relax, chill, and focus and concentrate on this part which we are discussing here. Because of this is most important thing whenever you guys are going to face any face whenever you guys are dealing with the customers. So you should have to be aware about the physical terms, physical things related to that. For features, functions, I'm sure you are going to get many more, shorted things or, some articles or some kind of solutions over there. You can see that, but hardware things you should have to be aware about the behavior, the functions and the particular port which we have over the particular different models. So you should have to be aware about that, right? So this is actually most important part because of regarding the hardware things, you will be not going to see much things into that, right? So the basic, I'll tell you the one part which is not important as of now, but I'll tell you which I have experienced. As per my experience, I'm telling. Whenever you're going to face or you are going to deal with the customers' problems, so just to understand the issue is the most important thing. When you understand their concern, their issue, their problems, the 50% of the solutions you guys have been found it out from their problems. So you should have to understand what exactly they are facing, the issue related to that. Once you understand, you guys can start doing these things, troubleshootings, to find out the causes and all things. Then you can start troubleshooting. So whenever you're going to start troubleshooting, make sure to start from the basics, like the L1 things. Where the L1 things comes, which is the hardware, port, cable things related to that. So these are the part of the L1 things, right? And then we have L2, where we are going to check the MAC table, MAC informations related to that. Is there any switches going to be utilized? So we are going to check the switches, switching protocols also. You guys might have been covered your switching protocols such as STP and status and all the things. And then the other, layer three things, then we have layer four, layer seven. So similarly, like you guys have to follow the OSI instruction, OSI model to troubleshoot the particular things, right? I hope you have been already aware about OSI model, how exactly it works. So you guys only have to start from the basic, which is already you guys are already aware about the OSI model, right? So the things you guys have to follow, that is the only one. I'm not saying that you cannot directly go over the, over the functions, what is the behavior, you can go. But to understand the issue, to provide the exact resolution on time and within the time, you should have to follow some process so that you can identify issue and resolve it as soon as possible, right? Okay. I will be going to discuss the few other parts here, like not here exactly after covering the hardware structure and all. We'll be going to check. We'll be going to discuss the basic things about the security terms, assets. The basically the viruses and the exploits and other things. What exactly the exploit? What is the viruses? How we can identify it. So we should have to aware about the basic things first. So I'm going to take the first basic part and then we will be moving. Okay. Because of if you guys see your content, this is what we have, right? We have zones, we have operating systems and all the things. So we have been already, covered the basic part or hardware architectures. Mostly we are about to complete. We will also have to discuss something other things also in the data plane of hardware architectures, which I'm going to describe again. But this is what is the plan and what is the the lab part and the topics which we are going to discuss. So this is your topic. This is your subtopic, and this is your lab part. Got it? So today is your day first, right? So in day first, we are going to discuss the introduction of Palo-Alto hardware architecture. SP3, I will be going to explain. Okay, don't worry. We also have a little bit to discuss in hardware architecture. I'll be explaining in more in detail, and then we'll be moving ahead to the SP3 and then panels. Got it? And then from tomorrow, we'll be going to discuss zones and these other things. But we have enough time to discuss these parts. Don't be worry about. Okay. So take your break and just make sure to come by 3 p.m. IST. Okay. And then we will be moving ahead to discuss the hardware architecture more in detail. And then we'll be discussing SP3 and the moving ahead forward. Okay.
Okay.
How long is it gonna be this break?
So as we were previously discussing with the hardware architectures and hardware models of the Palo Alto, we have been discussed.
Just a second.
Yeah,
Rupesh, can you tell me your ID number? Security is over here to check.
sorry,
Security is here to asking about your ID number.
I didn't get it. What?
Your ID number. Employee ID.
Employee ID 9602.
9602. Thank you.
Okay. Who was there basically?
Security guy.
Okay, okay, let's come to the part of the hardware part. Okay. So as we have been already discussed, like different model have the capabilities about their ports, their features, functions, right? So I'm not going to discuss it again because of it also having the same thing which we have been already discussed, right? As you can see, like this has been mentioned that some models and some features which we are going to see over there on the models. Basically, we are comparing these models with the others. Let me just come to the last part, okay? The most important part, which is 7000 series. It is not coming. Okay, I'll be coming this part, the VM series, later on after this. Okay, so don't be worried about like what exactly we have the VM series because of, as we all know that the physical devices and logical devices we have whenever you are going to work in any companies or any organizations, you will be going to see the logical devices and physical devices, right? So in physical devices, I have been already compared with that logical devices, which is we have the Palo Alto VM series, right? So we do also have the some VM series in that, which has been launched by the Palo Alto. We will be discussing like what are the differences we have in the VM series later on, right? Just a second. Okay, let me start from here. Okay, 5035. So in that 5260 and 5250 and 5220, this was the three series in the 5000, right? So as previously we have discussed, like we have the differences between the speed, between the the outputs which which we are going to get, and the sessions, the logs, each and everything which we have, right? So now the most important part of this, which is the throw output, because of, see, why the throw output is very important, because of whenever you are going to apply any policy, or you are going to perform anything related to the any functions, features like HA, global protect, we have many more, right? So we are going to get the output of that, like how exactly, if any function is, we have, let's say we have been applied HA, right? So HA is basically high availability. So what exactly the use of it is to provide redundancy in our network, right? So I will be coming on that part, like when we will be going to discuss the HA. So just explaining the things, like taking an example. So whenever anything has been related to that, if we are sending some information using those features, right? So we will be getting the outputs for that, right? Let's say we are sending some information from the port number 0 by 0, or fast Ethernet, or gigabyte Ethernet, that port. Somewhere that port is going to be utilized for transmitting the data, transmitting the information from source to destination. So the throw output is very important, because of it is totally dependent upon that. Let's say if we have a huge organization where we are using these devices, and many more users are coming, many more departments are using those. Like, let's say if I take an example of Bangalore only, right? So let's say Bangalore having we are using one Palo-Alto firewall, which is 50 to 50, 50 to 50, right? So let's say we are using this firewall, and we are having multiple departments, right? We have HR departments, we have account, we have sales, many more. We have in engineering, we have many more departments, right? So similarly, we are, creating the rule, we are creating the policies for them. We are, creating the different authority for them, right? That particular HR team only wants to go with that. So we are just going to create a rule, or any kind of NAT rule, or anything. So throw output is very important, because of how the processing is going to be making a very fast to from source to destination to transfer the data. This is actually very important to be have a good throw output. So that is the main users of throw output. If we have good throw output in that particular device, we'll be never going to face any slowness issue, because of, if we are transmitting many more data, right, and we are not having good throw output, so definitely our network is going to be stop working, or might be going to be work very slow. So this can be the reason that we have to get analyze the throw output, that which device exactly have a good throw output and all, right? Okay. If you guys have any doubt, guys, do not hesitate to ask. Okay, now let's come to the basic part of common security terms. What we have exactly. I'll be separating the VM part, separately. Why? Because of, I will be also going to show you how exactly the features, functions we have in VM, as we have been installed the VM, firewall in that. Now, so I'll be showing you what are the features, functions we have over the firewall, how we can take access, on GUI, right? So from beginning, I'll show you how exactly we have, how the features is working in that. So what is the security terms? Basically, so as we have been already discussed that we are using this firewall to provide a good, security. Got it? In security, what can be the reason? Like, what are the things comes inside? How we are exactly providing the security? What can be the reasons that why exactly we need security, right? there are some reasons that could be that we are going to provide securities on that. Like just like if I take an example, your OSI model, you have been already gone through that, right? But before the OSI model, there was few other technologies was using, right? Just like we have IBM or we have other, companies devices which they are using they were following their own set of rules, right? But there was a problem that they cannot make communications between the different vendors of the devices. Let's say if we have some IBM devices and if we have some HP devices, right? So they cannot communicate because of they were following the different set of rules in that. So to separate that or to just combine everything and to make easier communications to make our to run our network very smoothly, so we have been launched the OSI model. So everybody is going to be follow the same rule in that, right? So similarly, like here, we do have the security. In the security terms, what we have multiple, attacks, we have multiple viruses, multiple things which we have. So that is why we have launched the security devices such as your firewall, Palo Alto firewall, Cisco firewalls, many more different companies has been launched their firewalls, right? To protect basically from their threats, from their viruses, from their attacks. So that is the main thing, which is the use of security terms here. It is very important to understand how exactly the security terms is going to be used in that, right? So let's come to the part of security terms now. So security terms, the first part is asset. The asset could be anything that could be related to your, wherever you are working. Let's say we are working in IFX technologies, right? So in that building, we have multiple vehicles, we have different parking section, right? We have different peoples are using different laptops. They have different access assets, we can see, right? So that is the main which is we call assets, and this is dependent on not the not the every organization. This is dependent on the particular building or particular organization which they are using, right? Every organization have the different rules, different setups, different things, right? So we cannot compare, but yeah, like the rules which they are following, these are the rules which we have. Like they have been asset related to this, they have buildings, they have been planted some plants in that. They have many employees, they have many computers which they are using right now, right? That is the meaning. That is the asset, right? Now, what is vulnerability? So, do you guys, anyone have any idea about what is vulnerability? If anyone have like whoever have been worked with the security, security background.
Any loop or any hole in an environment that can be used to gain access to an environment and exploit it.
Got it. Any others?
Any weakness in our network.
So in simple terms, if I say like any weakness, right? Any weaknesses, any weaknesses comes, let's say some attacks has been happened suddenly, right? Or some networks, some hackers was there. So they're just catching up their information, what exactly the data has been transmitting between that. So that hacker having every information in that. So that is the call vulnerability, right? Let me cover. Okay, now what is exploit? Okay, so basically exploit, can be basically it is causes the buffer or overflow whenever uh, any engineers are having multiple or many data, so they are transmitting there, right? Such as like they are just trying to reach any website. So we have multiple website, right? So just like you guys, we are using multiple website in our computer systems. So what we are doing basically, we are creating multiple, requests to the server, which is Google server, to get the information to, grab the things, whatever we needed actually. So somewhere we are, let's say we are just increasing our informations to grab that. So let's say some has been crashed by the some hackers, like let's say some hackers or attackers comes in that. and you don't know about them, right? But you are again trying to take access of that particular website or any website. So that is we call exploit in that. So in between, the request has been generated by you, but somewhere it is receiving by the some other hackers or some other users, which is you don't know, which they are unknown in our network, right? So somewhere they are also getting the information, whatever you are requesting from your server, right? That could be any related to web server, any website like Facebook or any email server or any LinkedIn, any kind of website if you want to search. So that is comes under the exploit. Okay, now what is the threats? Now this is the main part. Threats can be anything that could be spyware, hackers, viruses, that can make your computer harm, your laptop or your network that can make it harm. So to provide security, to reduce those things or to make our network secure, we are going to use the firewalls in that. Because of threats, what we have threats, we are going to lose the data. Let's say we have two buildings in Bangalore, right? So the HR team is sitting, let's say, on tower one and tower two both, right? So from tower one to tower two, they want to, send some data in between. So data can be lost due to some hackers or due to some, which is we call men in middle attack. Okay. So there should be some men in middle attack. There should be some DOS attack. There could be multiple reasons in that, right? So they can put some viruses in your system so that your system will stop working very slow, right? So there could be many more things, spyware threats. They can just, put some lock in that, in your some features, some functions, they have been locked that. So due to that, we are going to secure our network using firewall to prevent these things cannot be happen in our network. And to run our network very smoothly, we are going to use the firewalls in that. Right. Similarly, like attack, I have been already told you. Risks, there could be multiple risks, like let's say some of website you are searching, but that is not HTTPS. That is HTTP website, right? So in HTTPS, what is that? Like we know, like let's say in C drive, we have a folder which is created with the my name, and inside we have created with the name of Palo Alto, right? These are some folders which I have created. I'm just taking a kind of example which you can understand. So in HTTP, what we are going to do, we just only know about the C drive, right? We don't know. We have to reach in this folder, but we only have access of C drive. But in HTTPS, we know how to go, right? First step, which we go in the C drive. Second step, which we go in this folder, right? And then third step, which we can go in that, where we are going to use HTTPS :/, right? So that means we are having somewhere this information in between colon to the slash. That means we know after the slash, we can put that particular website, www.google.com, let's say, right? So we know like to how to reach particular this folder. So we are going to make a secure connection in that. Got it? That is the main use of risk. That is how we can avoid risk while searching anything or anything over the web. Got it? Now, we have a circle of risk, right? How exactly that can be happen? In a normal security terms, we have a circle of risk. How the risk can be generated? What are the reasons of the risk to hack or to prevent any, to many more, problems which can be created in our, network, which is the name of threats, attack, assets, vulnerability, risk, and what are the things we have? So we have many more, risks can be happened in our network. So these are the main part which we had. So due to that only, we should have been required to secure our network. That is the main reason that we are using firewalls in that. You understand the point, guys? If you have any doubt or anything concerned, you can ask. Vivek, do you have anything to ask?
No, actually good. Okay.
Okay. So I'll tell you the sum of malwares which we have been already identified. There are some Trojan horse. Like I hope you guys have been heard about Trojan horse, right? So
Yes.
that is a kind of attack. I got it. So like the same attacks can be happened in our network as well, right? We don't know like who is the user, but apart from that user, that can be anything inside. Inside that user, there can be anything, right? That could be your hacker is want to make communication with you. They are also sending some information. Your user is also sending some information. So if you don't know, you can just allow the permissions. That could be your user. You don't that could be your user. But if that is hacker, then they can just attack in your system and they can get every information whatever they want, right? So this is similarly which we have everything like as I have been already discussed. I'm not going to discuss the virus and adware and everything. Like, let me tell you the adware first. The adware is what, like, let's say you are watching some videos on YouTube, right? For non-prime membership, I'm talking about. So they are just going to get some ads in between, right? Like 2 or 3 ads in that particular one video. So let's say there could be some attacks or some attacker like they have been uploaded some videos over there and they have been attached some uh, what we can say like HTTP or any kind of request which they have been generated, right? And they have been uploaded with that particular video. And suddenly that ad comes. Now you don't know, you are knowing that this is an ad, normal ad. But let's say you clicked on that. So your information has been generated and has been sent to the attacker. So they will be going to get your every access. They will be having, but you don't know. You have been, clicked on, like you said, like you clicked on your ad, but it was not actually the ad. It was a kind of Trojan horse which you have been captured in that. Got it? So that could be the adware. Ransomware, we have been already know that like due to some crypto key or crypto wall we have been generated. And this has been, attacks recently, like few years back. In 2007, 17, I guess it was, right? So this is the same, like this was the main basic part which we have, right? In that, if you have any doubt, guys, you can ask.
We will receive this file after the lecture.
Sorry.
We will have access to this file.
Uh, I will share it. Okay, don't worry. Because of it, actually, it have many more content, right? So at the end, I will share this PDF to you because of if you can see, like we have 714 slides in that, right? So I'll be sharing it to you. I will not share it right now. Why? Because of the peoples are going to be follow the same thing, and I know the behavior, like how exactly the students behave. Like they will be going to learn the new things in that. They'll be going to learn the advanced things, right? Which is not important for us, which has been already mentioned in this particular PDF. But that's what I'm saying. When this session is going to be complete, like after, before, coming on the lab part, I will share this particular PDF to all of you. Okay. Okay. Now, let's come to the part of VM series. Okay. So what is exactly the VM series? Why exactly we would require? So in VM, why exactly we require, let's say, physical device can be goes down, right? There could be many reasons. There could be some, hardware failure. There could be some power failure. So physical devices can be go down, right? But logical devices cannot until and unless we shut it down or we forcefully tell them to shut it down, right? So we have been launched some VM series of virtualization, systems in our Palo Alto series. Just like in Cisco, we have Cisco ACI with the uh, Cisco ACI has been launched with the Cisco data center, right? In Cisco data center, mostly we have many, different series of switches like your Nexus, right? So in Nexus, we have multiple more series, many more series. But in ACI, we have been also launched with the data center part. So similarly, we do also have the VM series in Palo Alto as well, where we are going to perform each and everything similar that could be related to the similar only, all the functions and everything. We are going to get the similar things. Whatever the functions, features which we are doing with the particular physical firewall, we are going to get the similar things with that. Okay. Okay. Now in that we have different models, we have different licenses for the VM series, for for firewalls, the physical firewall, we have different series. For VM, we have different series, right? Let me come to the part of VM series now. Let's start with the first Palo Alto VM series, which is 2 CPU, right? Which it actually have 4.5 GB of the RAM, which it exactly comes with that, right? We, what I told you, like we will be getting the same functions, each and every functions we are going to get the same, right? But yes, like on VM, as comparatively physical firewall, we are having less speed. Why less speed? Because of we have particular, what we say, we have particular authority to change the particular slots or particular memory over the firewall or the physical firewall. But in logical firewall or in VM firewalls, mostly whatever we have been purchased, let's say we have been purchased some of the VM series with the capability of 5 GB RAM. So that is comes with that only. We will be not having any other option to increase that, right? We will be having an option. But once when we go for licenses, once we go for the upgradation of particular what we call like subscriptions in a simple terms, if I talk about. So in subscriptions, what we are going to get, like if I take an example of YouTube subscription, right? So in YouTube subscription, you are going to pay some amount to them, right? To get the extra features. So similarly in VMs, we do also have the same thing. We can just increase the sum of amount to get the particular features with the different models so that we can upgrade it. And with the different model, actually, we do have different models in that, right? Which is I'm going to tell you now. See, previously we have been seeing the same thing, right? But the session and IP mostly. What is the session and IP basically? VM we are going to use to create the user or to connect the multiple users, to connect the multiple switches or other devices, right? So we would be require some IP addresses for that, right? To assign the IP address on the particular port so that they can make communication. So similarly in that VM, we would have the some range that this models comes with this range, this model comes with this range. So as similar, you can see that the session of IPv4, IPv6, which we can see, 50,000 session we can see in that, 64 in that. Similarly, this is going to be increased. We are not going to see that this is going to be increase in speed or any kind of, throw output or any kind of things. But we are going to see the session. Some models have the different, series which they have been launched with the maximum capabilities which they have. Similarly, like firewall. In firewall, we have been discussed like 5200, we have different series with different capabilities. In 7000, we have different capabilities, right? So similarly, in here, in series 4, basically, VM series 4, basically, we have the different speed now we are going to get. Similarly, just like whenever we are going to upgrade the model, we are going to have the higher model, we are going to have the higher capabilities, obviously, right? We will not get that much capacity as comparatively Palo Alto firewall 7000 or 7500 as comparatively Palo Alto firewall 5200 or anyone that, right? We will be having some category in that. We will be having some specific features or specific details or specific differences between that. So that is the main thing. This is I'm not going to discuss because of this is not the part of. Okay, this is comes with the next generation firewall and it goes on your CN series, which mostly we are going to use as a backup. Do you have any doubts or anything to ask in that, guys?
No.
Like where do we going to install these VMs on like servers?
Yeah.
So if the speed, the throughput will depend on the server's port too, right?
Yes. Okay. I will be coming on the PAN OS part, I think. Let me check which part we have. Okay. I will make it separate. Okay. Let me come to the part of this first. It is not been completed yet. I'll be describing you after your second break. Okay. Which is happening on after 6. Okay, better thing is let me come to the part of the basic discussion of your firewall, that what are the features, functions we are going to get in that. Okay, just a second. Let me take access. Guys, if I'm going little fast, let me know. If if you guys have any doubt or if you feel like if I'm going very fast or not understanding, if you guys are not understanding anything, let me know so that I can repeat and re-explain you again. Now, do you guys have any doubt or anything to ask before moving to
No,
this?
no.
No question, just it's some introduction, so maybe in the future, in another days, you have for
Okay,
more questions.
we'll see that. No worries. So basically, this is your lab. Okay, whenever most of the people as of now might be don't have, only might be from Poland people they have the access. Dennis, do you have access of the?
I didn't check it yet, just you send this link, but I didn't open it yet. If you want, I can check.
Yeah, please check and let me know. If you have, so you can just open the same thing with me so that you can have your better understanding on this.
Mhm. For this, we are using the same password from PAN credentials which we get from.
You must have received your email address, right? Your email address password.
Yeah, we received the PAN credentials, yeah, from Palo-Alto. This is the
Yeah.
same password which we will use for
Yes,
this?
yes, yes. Have
Okay.
you been reset the password?
Yes, for Palo-Alto, yes.
Yeah, so use that password after resetting whatever the password you are using.
Okay, let me check if I have access.
Is your Okta has been connected or your
Yes.
so make sure to connect on Okta and verify that.
Right. Let me check this if I have access. Okay. I think I opened this. It seems it's open.
But you have to import your firewall. Exactly.
It's just a blank screen. It's writing missing root, yeah? And it says this root is not supported.
So you have to go here. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen, right?
Just a second. Okay, let me check. I don't have this portion. I have just this 3 line, yeah, on the left up. From where I should go.
Just a second. Just a second. Can you share your screen and show me?
Yes, okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, can you click on the 3 line here? Click on inventory. Yeah, now you got it. Click
Okay.
on yeah. Now click on this drop down, image DC, image shared. No, you have to create the folder. Can you check this tag shared? Can you check this tag shared? Click on tag shared
Okay.
if it is there. No, it is not there. Can you go back to the first part, the first one, the on the top? No, no, not here. On the top one, yeah. The first option. Image DC. Okay. PVE. Can you go inside that? Okay. Just firewall, intent firewall. You actually have to create it, okay, by clicking on here, right click on PVE. Can you check the third option? There should be some
This
PVE
one?
shapes, something like that. No, it is also don't have. Check the last. No, see. Okay, let's do one thing. Go on the second tab and you have to create the folder and MRDC. Click on right click on that MRDC. Create a new folder.
New first one.
Yes. It's not going to be created actually.
It seems it's blank. It doesn't let me create.
It will not work. It will not work. Leave it. The thing is, let it be as of now. I will do one thing. I'll share you one video so you can follow the same. Okay.
Okay.
I'll ping you on GChat. I'll share it to you. And yeah, because of most of the people don't have access as of now, right?
Yes.
So we do one thing. We'll play as today's your first day, right? So once people is going to get the credentials, we will be going to start with the everyone so that everyone can go through with that each and every sections and follow the same instructions, right? Because of that could be time taken if I explain you right now and others will be sitting at a right. So I'll share some videos to you. You can follow the instructions and create. And if you face any issue, you have been some assign your uh, some lab partners, right? Or some lab who created the lab or provided you the lab. So you can reach out to them if you face any issue. They will also help you in that. Okay. Otherwise, I'm here.
Do we need any access or do we need to confirm anything? Like, because it's writing here that you have no privileges to view this part, yeah? So we have to ask anything to our manager to get access for anything at the moment or not?
Tell them to provide the particular switch name, number, and the VLANs. Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, it could be good if you could just write this, what we need to ask to manager, and this instruction you said that you will send, then later we will see if we have access, then all will be okay, I think.
Then is you don't have to ask to manager, you have to ask to your lab credential team who has been generated the lab.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That is decided by Palo Alto. If you
Okay.
have your Slack, so they have been pinged you there.
Okay.
Or they pinged you. Okay.
Okay. They didn't yet, but yeah. Okay.
You can check their name, the credential, or the email which you got, who has shared. You can ping it, or you can reach out to them over the Slack. They will also help you out in that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Is responsible in the Slack?
Sorry, what?
Who is responsible for these issues in the Slack?
Whoever has been send you an email with the credential. Okay. I will help you out while in installation part and each and everything, but not right now. Let the comes everyone's credentials so that we can do, with everyone so that everyone can follow the same instruction and they can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm. So once you got your access of your lab, there is it is basically mentioned like that. Okay. Like if I go on VM1, so I will be going to take access of Palo Alto firewall one. Is it recording or what? Let me check. Okay, so you will be having your IP addresses. You can see your IP address and the operating system of this particular CentOS. You can see each and everything, right? So this is going to be happen on your VMware ESXi. So this is also a kind of server where I have been installed this device with the capability of this memory and everything. You can see that. So there is CPU which I have been using two CPUs in that, right? And I will be using the 9 GB memory for this particular device. And I have been assigned a hard disk to store the information, to store the configuration files and each and everything in that. So which is 60 GB, right? I have been multiple network adapters, right? What is the use of network adapters? Let me tell you. Basically, we are going to use this network adapters to connect the different devices, right? Let's say we have PC, Windows 10, we have another firewall, we have server, right? So we'll be having the different adapters which we are going to use to connect them, okay? And we are also going to follow the multiple VLANs actually in that, okay? Let me just not going to explain. Okay, no issue. So let's say in adapter one, what I have been used, this is our MAC address. This is my MAC address for this adapter, right? And this is the some management port which I am using to connect that particular device. Okay. So this is the default management VLAN which we have 1570. So make sure to have the default management VLAN on same device, on any devices, like if you have firewall 2, firewall 1. So the adapter one will be assigned for this only, okay, which we can see. Now, let me come to the part of this again. So similarly, we have different adapters where I have used the another VLANs, right? I have been used the different VLAN 1114, 1115, which is connected with the other devices, right? Now, in monitor section, what basically we are going to get, like let's say if any alarm has been triggered, if any alarms, like if any fault is happened on your lab, so you can see in the triggered alarm. So you will be going to see that particular alarms here. As of now, I don't have, so you cannot see that. Performance, obviously, you can see what is the performance of CPU, memory, hard disk. Similar like, your PC. Similar like your PC. Whatever the network we are going to see in PC, how it is exactly we are going to see? We are going to see like this, right? So we can see the performance like CPU, memory, disk, and each and everything, right? So this is also the virtual machine, right? This one, which I am showing you, this is your physical machine. This is my laptop, okay? Which I'm showing you, like what is my CPU, what is my memory, disk, Ethernet, GPU and everything, which I'm using. Similarly, on VMware, we can also see each and everything here as well. Like what is the CPU which we have, what is the speed which we are getting output, how many memories which we are using, how much memory, right? Each and everything we are going to get. Advanced performance, where you are going to see the live chart exactly. Okay, you can filter it out according to your real time, last day, last week, like whatever you want to see that, right? If like let's say your lab is working since 1 month or since 2 months, so you can just filter out and see that advanced performance of your device, like what was your performance for that. So you can see each and everything in that. So before wasting time on this now, I think that is enough. Let me take access of this device, okay? I'm going to put HTTPS. Okay. Now, Palo Alto firewalls, we have basically username always would be as an admin. Password would be P as in capital, Palo, A as in capital, Palo Alto, 123, and exclamation mark. This is the default password for your firewalls. I will share the credentials like how you can log in. Should be pinged by someone. Just a second now. Let it come up. Till then I'll share it to you. I'll show you. Okay. So this is the password basically we are going to use. Now in VMware, mostly we have multiple devices, right? So in that we have web GUI. So for that username is this and password is this, right? For Windows client, we have for the user one, we can get this username one and Palo Alto. Got it? So I'll be sharing it to you as well. Just a second. I'll share it to you. Okay, I'll upload in Google Drive and I'll mention like on daily basis what we have covered. I will be also uploading the videos on that. And I will be also adding this one as well with that. Okay, so don't be worried about. Okay, so now we have the access of firewall. So in that firewall, we are also going to see what we have exactly, like device name. As you can see, the general information in general information tab, what we are going to see, the name, the IP address which it have, how exactly it got IP address using DHCP, right? So we have been assigned and DHCP server to provide an automatic IP address so that this has the IP address. Now, this is management IP address, not the physical interface, right? So in management interface and physical, interface having the different. We have been connected on management VLAN, right? So by default, we have been connected on management VLAN. So management VLAN is providing us the IP address, automatic IP address in that. Subnet mask, whatever they are using. So this is our default management gateway, right? Which has been provided the DHCP IPs with using these particular management gateway. So this is our management gateway IP address. As we don't have any IPv6, so we don't know. So that is unknown. Okay. We have IPv6 local address. So this is the combination of your management port only. So in management port, we have both option. Like we have been configured, IPv4 and IPv6 both, right? So that's what we can see here. MAC address, you can see this is the MAC address of the particular device which we have. This is the PAN VM. So we are going to get the model as a PAN virtual machine, Palo-Alto virtual machine, right? This is the serial number of machine. This is CPU ID, UID, right? So this is every information you are going to get, whatever the memory we have been assigned, what is the license. So this is virtual machines 300. Okay, so this is the model of that. This is the 300 model. Capabilities like your RAM and all the things we are going to get. Now, VM model, as I told you, this is going to be, installed on VMware ESXi. So that's what we are going to see, that VMware ESXi, as this is, configured over the ESXi server. Okay. Whatever the version, the PAN OS version is running on this particular device, we can also see, which is 10.1.6. I'll be coming on the PAN OS version, whatever the versions we have later on. Okay. Global Protect agent. Yeah, I'll be coming on this Global Protect part when I will be going to discuss the PAN OS part. Okay. What is the Global Protect? How exactly we can use? So for a Global Protect, we will also have a separate session for that. So don't be worried about. We will be going to, get the information in detail about the Global Protect, how exactly it works, because of this is most important feature in Palo-Alto. So similarly, we have the time zone, each and everything you are going to get in that. Got it? Now, let's come to the part like we have been assigned a license, right? So where you can see the license when you come on the devices, there is the license. Okay. So from there, you can see your licenses. As of now, I cannot see. It's just loading. Just a second. Yeah. Showing licenses, it is very important once you install your, this firewall. So licenses is very important to run the particular device, because of some features you will be not able to configure if you don't have license. I'm not saying it will not work, it will work, but some features you will be not having access that you can work on, or you can just configure some other features over the firewall. For that, we would be require license. So the date, which exact date have been issued and everything regarding to your licenses, you guys can see that. Okay. So that has been assigned by some Global Protect gateway. So the gateway information you will be also going to see, like at what date exactly this has been assigned by the which gateway. Okay. You will be also going to see the expiry date, because of some of licenses, some of support, like as for experienced people, I'm telling, they have been seen, like let's say they have been working on some Cisco devices or some many kind of routers, switches. So they have been some limitation, right? Like this license is going to expire in 2025, 2026, right? Similarly, like here as well, we do also have the same option to be have the licenses, right? So this license is never going to be expanded. Okay, so this is generated by the global protect license. Okay, software warranty, you can see that. Okay, coming on the part of interfaces, we have actually how many interfaces do you guys know? Like um, we have two kind of interface, physical and logical interface, right? So in
Yes.
routers, if I talk about, let's start with the switch first, right? So we have Ethernet or fast Ethernet in switch as a physical interface, right? As a
Yes.
logical, we have switch virtual interface, which we are creating. Similarly, on router, we have different ports, as we do also have that in them. So similarly, in firewalls, we do also have the two different type of ports, which is logical and physical. So in physical, we have layer 2, layer 3, and in logical, we have vWire and tap,
Right.
virtual wire and tap. Okay, so we will be also discussing those part later on. I hope this session is not boring. Most of the people are taking nap, isn't it?
No.
Guys, if you feel boring, let me know. We'll do some activities. At least I will be going to ask some questions from you.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so this was related to the licenses and all. If you have guys any doubt related to this, if you want to ask anything, so let me know.
But do we have to have a separate license for separate things like for logging, for global protect?
No, 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 no. This is for firewall I'm talking about. For global protect and each and everything, these are the features, right? Just like in your routers, you are going to configure OSPF, you are going to configure BGP, right? So
Yes, yes.
similarly, in firewalls, we have HA, we have global protect, we have many more, right? Which we have to do that. For that, we don't be require any license, but for running particular firewall, we would be require the licenses. Yeah,
Okay.
that licenses comes with the multiple features. If somebody have been worked on license,
Forty.
Nexus devices, so they have been have some idea. Like in that Nexus devices, I'll tell you, they have been particular, license key so that they can enable some features. Without license key, they cannot enable some features. Right?
Okay. Like
They have
on
been, yeah,
FortiGate, I worked on FortiGate. So like basic things work without license, but if we want traffic logging or we want like URL filtering, app filtering, then we require license.
exactly. So similar like in Palo Alto, we do also have the same. Right? So
Okay.
for that,
Okay.
we would be require license to run every function, every features, so that we can take capture, we can take logs, we can configure whatever we want. You know,
Okay. So,
so that is the main thing. That is the main important part.
okay.
If you have any doubt, have any doubt,
No, as of now.
I can see only few people are speaking. What about others? No one. Okay. Okay, let's come to the part of network. Actually, it is working little slow. So you will have little bit problems in that. Right? So network option, if I show you where I can get that, yeah, it is here, right? So when you are going to configure any interfaces, you will have the options tab, HA, vWire, layer 2, layer 3.
Layer 3.
So this is how we can get the information from there. So once you go in the network session, you will be having the information from here. As I have been used, these I have been used for DHCP client, these I have been used for routing and all. This I have been used for high availability. So this is how exactly we can. Okay. And zones, I will be coming on those parts later on. Okay. VLAN, you guys have been already know that what is the VLANs and other things, right?
Yes.
We also going to get the option to create VLANs here as well. vWire, from here we can create the vWire and see that interfaces, whatever the interfaces come under the vWire. So if we have any interfaces comes under the vWire, we will be good to see that in that. Virtual routers, if we have created any virtual routers, so we will be going to see that any the virtual routers, the interfaces which we have assigned in that, right? So as I have been created 4 interfaces into the 2 virtual router, I have been taken 2 virtual routers in that, which I have been assigned as one is a default and another I have used for the high availability, right? So I will be going to discuss these things when I will be going to discuss the high availability and the configurations part and the lab part there. Okay. IPsec tunnel, GRE, and each and everything we are going to get. We will be going to discuss those things later on. I guess because of most of the people are near about to sleep. So better thing is go and grab some coffee and get back to in 15 minutes. Okay, so that we can start continuing discussing on this again.
Okay.
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 But make sure to come back in 15.
Sure.
Okay. Bye 4:30.